Welcome to our demo. So this is Chuck Abendroth, I'm Amin Chabra, and we want to show you what a real world situation would look like in an emergency response situation. Now, we both cover a collaboration from a Northern California public sector standpoint. And something that is very real to our customers in our territory over the past few weeks is basically we've had torrential downpours and a lot of flooding. And we have agencies, multiple agencies that in this type of scenario would need to have a pre-built scenario to handle this type of emergency response.
Perfect. Absolutely. So we'll unfold the scenario for you here. When sunny skies turn dark in Northern California. The scenario, situation. Over the past several days, rains have drenched Northern California, have reached critical stages. Cities and streets have sustained damage and human life is being threatened. A crack team of cross-agency resources are assembled to address events as they occur, to protect life and protect our community. Enter theme
Thunderstrike.
Yeah. All right, Team Thunderstrike. Members of the team, Felicia Kaiser, Director, Department of Water Resources. El Capitan Bouchard, Local Police Chief, Northern California. Amin, Caltrans. Chuck, I represent Office of Emergency Services. Welcome, new team members to the response team here. Let us bring everybody up full speed to what we've been dealing with here over the last 48 hours. Amin, can you show us a video of the things we've been kind of handling and dealing with?
Sure thing, Chuck. Let's take a look at what's been happening.
A lot of flooding in this area, and it is.
Wow, this lady looks like she's up to her knickers in it. It's really been flooding out here.
Oh my God, Chuck.
Oh my gosh, lots of trees down and that kind of thing. That's crazy. Amin, it looks like that tree got hit by a car.
That Prius owner got more green than he bargained for, Chuck.
You can say that again, Amin. That is for sure. And, you know, things just continue to escalate. I hope that poor Prius owner gets out of his car sometime soon. Oh my gosh, look at that campground. It's underwater, Amin.
Those are not happy campers, Chuck.
You can say that again. That's amazing. All right, well, these are the things we've kind of been dealing with over the last several days. So you new team members to the team here, we could be called on at a moment's notice to respond to these flood situations. It continues to escalate out there. As I look out the window, rain continues to come down. We hear Lake Oroville is overflooding the dam gates. We could see a situation unravel and unfold at any moment here.
Chuck, it looks like we just got a new notification that popped in.
You know, that's amazing. We've been dealing with these things all weekend. Let's fire up our collaboration space and see what's going on. You know, it looks like we have
It says, warning, flood stage reached at Icehouse Road. I got a text message saying flood stage reached at Icehouse Road / Route 50, El Dorado County. Please follow the emergency procedure.
So we have a flood sensor on several of the key bridges out in the area, and one of these bridges has reached flood stage, so the flood sensor has gone off and automatically notified us that we've got a situation to deal with.
Let's pop over to our collaboration space. We're in a collaboration space here with all of our emergency personnel that we've gathered, our interagency emergency personnel. And we can see here that we have pending tasks here. Now, what happened was we have a built-in project management, task management interface into our collaboration space here. And what it's done is, since we're the emergency team here, emergency response team, we have created these emergency scenario checklists, essentially. So upon flooding, we can see here that there are 2 tasks that we need to complete in order to make sure that everyone is safe for this emergency situation.
Absolutely. And these 2 tasks are assess need for evacuation and civilian management. Amin, you're with Caltrans. Do you mind taking care of that one?
Sure thing, Chuck. I'd be happy to.
That'd be outstanding. And anticipate local weather conditions. I'm with Office of Emergency Services. Why don't I take that one?
Sure.
Perfect. Amin, could you help us assess the situation there locally in Kybers?
Sure thing, Chuck. Why don't I pop on over there and I will let you know what's happening.
That would be fantastic. Amin is a very quick driver, but he's very safe. Since we have CHP on the call here potentially, I want to go on record and say that Amin never breaks any speed limits.
I do not.
I do not. So we'll be joined here very shortly by Amin from location in Kybers, which, you know, as a crow flies, is probably about 150 miles from where we sit here today. Okay, we're going to join into the flood team response room. And here we have Amin. Amin, how are you?
Chuck, it is raining cats and dogs out there.
Oh my gosh, Amin, I can see that. It looks like you just stepped in a poodle.
Well, Chuck, let me show you, let me get a read on what the situation is and show you in real time what's going on. How about that?
That would be outstanding.
Okay, so I am going to pop into my whiteboard here and do a little drawing. That way you guys have a better understanding for those of us who are not in person on what's going on.
Absolutely.
I have just pulled that up.
Great. Well, I see a lot of water here. I see a couple of bridges. Which bridge are we concerned about here, Amin?
So we have flooding on Kybers Avenue and Ice House Road, but it looks like this Ice House Road bridge, and I'm going to draw it in red here for you, that way you know, has all the flooding. So I'm going to circle it here in red, that way you know.
I gotcha. Yeah, it looks like a lot of water is sitting on the roadway there, actually, on the bridge. Is that true?
Yeah, it is true. There is water there on the roadway.
My goodness.
And I'm also going to show you, so there's this house here on Ice House Road, or in between Ice House Road and Kybers Avenue, that the basement is flooded, as we can see here. But there's other houses to the left where they're fine, but the ones closer towards Ice House Road are actually underwater.
Gotcha. By the way, which way is the water flowing out there in Kybers?
So it looks like the water is flowing from east to west here.
I gotcha. I gotcha. Well, you know, that really helps. It helps a ton having a little bit of a local view into what's going on there in Kybers. Thank you, Amin.
Absolutely. And I will see you back at our emergency center here.
All right. Drive safe. Stay dry.
Thanks.
So we just showed in the collaboration space that we have here to deal with this emergency situation, the ability to bring in a whiteboard scenario and kind of document what's going on out there on site, if you will. Okay, very good. All right, so I'm going to close down the meeting. I assume you did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to rate the call. I like that call. I rated it very highly. So, Amin, welcome back. You made great time.
Thank you, Chuck.
Yeah.
I always obey the law.
As you should, Amin, as you should. Fantastic. So now that you've been out there on site, you've assessed the local conditions out there. What can we do from a flood response perspective?
You know what? I'm such a good Caltrans representative. I am going to resolve this task. So I had a task assigned to me that was called Assess Need for Evacuation and Civilian Management.
Yeah.
And I've gone out into the field, and in real time, I assessed and I shared in real time with the rest of the emergency operations crew and the emergency response team what was happening. And now that I'm done, I can go and resolve this task. So I'm going to go ahead and type in at Red Booth resolve, assess need for evacuation and civilian management. It's a very long string of characters there. Hopefully I typed it in correctly.
I think you got it.
And it's going to say
We're
that I
resolved.
have resolved this task.
Fantastic, we're resolved. But I think I still owe the team some information, don't I? So I've got to anticipate local weather conditions. So I'm going to go out here and bring in our weather program and look at what's going on there in Kybers right now. Let's see what the situation is in Kybers. Well, you know, it looks like it's kind of chilly out there right now. We're looking at a minimum temperature of 0 degrees Celsius, Amin.
Chuck, I have no idea how cold that is.
I have no idea what Celsius means, but that sounds pretty darn cold.
It
But
sounds frigid.
you know, it may be more interesting even to look at the forecast.
Let's check it out.
So let's see what the forecast is going to be in Kybers there. And just by typing in commands into our collaboration room, we should get a read here on what the forecast is in Kybers. There we go.
Okay.
Then we're good. So here we can see now the forecast over the next several days. Look at this. Oh my gosh. More rain and snow, rain and snow, rain and snow. This situation that we have in Kybers, Amin, could really escalate over the next
It
several
could
days.
absolutely escalate.
Okay, but we now have a good read on what the conditions are out there, maybe a little bit more information on what to expect. I think we've resolved that situation as well, don't you?
I think we have. I think we did a great job. Chuck has checked the weather and checked the forecast, and now he has completed that task. So he's going to go back into our task management system, which is integrated into our collaboration space, and go and resolve out that task. So let's see how he gets that done.
Yep, so I'm just going to go in here and type resolve.
And we should get a notification back saying that that has been resolved. And what we're going to go do from here is just to make sure that our team has completed all of our checklist is we're going to go in and see if we have any remaining tasks. So we're going to go in here and go to what's pending.
Fantastic. No pending task, Amin. I think we're in good shape.
We have.
Fantastic. Team
Team
Thunderstrike.
Thunderstrike.
Yeah. All right. But we still have a pretty serious situation unfolding out here. We're going to need to stay on top of this thing, right, Amin?
Absolutely.
So we're going to need the help by, Felicia Kaiser. Thank you, Felicia, out there from DWR, Department of Water Resources. We could really use your help in opening the floodgates down below Kybers. If you could give that local community there a little relief, that would be outstanding. We'll add this to the task list moving forward. El Capitan Bouchard, would you mind getting out there? We've got some
Great job, by the way.
Yeah, great job. We've got some water rising out there in Kybers. Could you get a local support team out there to see if we can help with any of the local residents in terms of evacuation or just local assistance in protecting property? We'd really appreciate it. Thank you, Captain Bouchard. And I'd suggest we call another meeting here in about 2 hours, get back together and see how the situation is
Absolutely, because we're going to need to continue to monitor the situation as it evolves in real time. And this collaboration space will allow us to do that.
Fantastic.
So let's cut back to a recap of what we just saw. So let's recap what we just saw today. Now we have several bridges in California, Northern California, where we have outfitted them with sensors. Now these sensors go off when there's heavy raining or flooding in the area. So instead of having to manually monitor them or send police out or local response teams out, we have the bridge automatically tell us that there are flood conditions and that our emergency personnel and our interagency team needs to respond to this situation. So the flood sensor was triggered on the bridge, and it automatically opened this collaboration space with all of us and our personnel together. So you guys, us, our entire team, we were able to collaborate. We have a predefined checklist of what we need to go through in this type of flood response scenario. So we were able to go through that checklist bullet by bullet, and in real time, everyone on the team was able to see the tasks being completed. Mm-hmm. So I went out into the field, I assessed the bridge situation, so you were able to see me on video in real time, and I showed you guys a whiteboard of what was happening. And Chuck, in real time, was able to pull up the whiteboard on his computer and then annotate if he needed to as well. Now, once we completed that task, we popped back into our collaboration space, and we resolved that task. And then Chuck was responsible for checking the weather. So he was able to check the weather and resolve that task. We were able to see that we had done everything we needed to as our team and completed our entire checklist, basically. Yeah. And so in essence, we have much more efficiently completed and responded to this emergency situation than we would have previously. So in other situations, we have multiple agencies. Our tools are not the same. We have different modalities of communication. So maybe you're going to be on a voice-only conference bridge, or maybe you'll be on a web bridge, or maybe you'll be on a video bridge, and then you have to go back and forth with email or chat or texting or SMS, right? So instead of having to jump to all those different modalities, we were able to do everything within one collaboration environment, and that environment is our Cisco Spark technology.
Fantastic. And you know what I love about it is, as Amin said, it automated the whole process for us. We didn't have to think an emergency situation. We followed the pre-described task lists. It notified us that there was a situation. It brought us all together. It assembled us, and it kept track of how we were doing in our response. So, fantastic job, Team Thunderstrike.
Team Thunderstrike.
Yeah.
There we go. And we will look forward to see you guys in the next one. Thanks.
Be bold.